There's a story that's told of a minister visiting a crofter in an evening. They sat together round the open fire, warming themselves on the coals that were there. They spoke together about faith and about life. And the crofter said to the minister, "You know, minister, I don't have to come to church to be a Christian." Now, while that is undoubtedly true, there is something about sharing with others that is important in our walk with Christ. Knowing and understanding that, and understanding how to communicate well, the minister in that moment said nothing. He simply took the tongs that were down beside the fire and lifted from the centre of the fire a red burning coal. He placed it on the hearth, and as they sat and watched together, this burning coal began to lose its colour, as the red became replaced with grey. Without saying a word, the minister picked up the tongs again and took the greying coal and placed it back in the centre of the fire. Within a few seconds, it was burning red again. Wisely, he didn't say anything else, but said good evening, and left the crofter with that image in his mind. And there is something in that for us, about that need for us to be on fire for Jesus, and yet if we are to be, then we have a need to be around others who will encourage us in that. Those who will help to keep us alive, those who will stoke the embers. And those things are important. Important for you and important for me. And so when people come to join the church, we ask them to commit to sharing with us in different ways, that we might nurture and support each other on the journey of faith. There's a book in the Bible in the New Testament called Hebrews, and in Hebrews chapter 10, the writer addresses some folk who seem to have missed us. Let us, he says, hold on firmly to the hope we profess, because we can trust God to keep his promise. Let us be concerned for one another, to help one another, to show love and to do good. Let us not give up the habit of meeting together as some are doing. Instead, let us encourage one another all the more, since you see that the day of the Lord is coming nearer. For those who have somehow stopped meeting together, the writer of this letter is saying, you need to pick this up again. There is something important in nurturing and supporting each other. Don't give up the habit of meeting. Let us encourage one another all the more. Let us be concerned for one another, to help one another, to show love and to do good. There is something about living for Jesus in our daily lives that is important, and something about coming together in order that we might do that. And so as we gather together, in many ways, as we gather together, we acknowledge in those moments our frailties and our weaknesses. We acknowledge that without the support of others and without God at work in our lives, we cannot live in the way that we should. That we somehow gather strength from one another and from God as we share. And somehow God has patterned things in that way for us to need one another in this kind of way. For all of us, no matter how strong we feel, no matter how gifted we are, we need the encouragement of others round about us. And as we do that, as we share together and encourage each other, so we can then go out and serve him in our daily lives. That's important. But sharing together in order that we might do that. One of the groups that meets in our church halls is an Alcoholics Anonymous group. I like the way that people in that group meet together week by week, the way that they support each other, the way they recognise their need of that group and that need to be there to face up to the things that would draw them away. And so they leave that group each week, ready to go and to face the week that's ahead. It's important for them, and important for us in our pattern of living and of life, that we share together with those who experience what we experience in terms of our faith and our walk with Jesus. that we encourage each other in our walk with him. And so as you consider coming to join the church, one of the things that you will be asked when you join is this: do you promise to share regularly with us in worship, fellowship, and learning? Will you join us that we might gain from what you bring and that you might gain from what we bring? Will you join us that together we might draw on the strength that God gives us to live for him week by week? We are not called to be Christians on our own, but to share together. Something important on that journey. And for me, that's not just about Sundays. That's an important part for us. But actually, there are other things that we might share in as well. It's about small groups that we might be part of, or individual contacts with fellow Christians and others within the church. Things that will help to nourish and support us in our walk with Jesus. And actually, it's not just about nurturing and supporting. It is about more than that. It's also about learning, growing and maturing in our faith and understanding. It's about saying, I've not got there yet. There's more that I need to know. There's a maturing that I need to do. And actually, while I can do some of that on my own, I know that actually I need to do that along with others. And sometimes it's not just about what I will gain, but it's about what I can give. And so I want to be part of this group of people who are seeking to follow Jesus. I want to walk with them. I want that we might walk together in our walk with Christ. And so this week, as we study, as we talk, and as we share together, that's the focus. That as we consider joining the church, we join those who are on this journey with Jesus, and we think about how we might support each other, that we might serve him faithfully. You take time to switch off the video now, and the second set of questions are on your sheet.